Dear students, we have been busy with the story All Summer in a Day. We have already seen most of the aspects like the author, background of the poem. We also studied the story in detail. Today we shall conclude the story by looking at some of the literary aspects. First and foremost, we shall have a look at the title and see how apt is the title. The title, All Summer in a Day. Is it the right title, or is the title apt, fitting? Yes, we can say that it's very apt, very fitting. Why? Because the whole story is about 7 years rain versus 2 hours of sun. 7 years of rain versus 2 hours of sun. And sun is connected with the summer, and the sun appears only for 2 hours. Therefore, Summer in a Day is a very fitting title. And the running theme in the story is the desire of students to bask in the sun, to expose themselves in the sun and enjoy the sunshine, the sun rays falling on them. And the most desired things are sun and the sunny day. Sun and the sunny day. And sun and sunny days are connected with summer. And you'll find the story revolves around sun and summer. How Margot knew the sun and how she experienced, and her telling her friends how the sun looked like. Then the sun appearing, students enjoying it. Therefore, the entire thing is revolving around sun and summer. Therefore, the title is very apt. We shall look at next heading, the characterization. On the first day I did little bit, but today we'll go into little more detail. Who are the main characters? Main characters are Margot and her classmates. Among the classmates, only William's name is mentioned, others' names are not there. Then the class teacher is there. We need not study so much about her characterization. So, the main characters we have to study are, one is Margot, other one is the students, classmates of Margot. What are the qualities, outstanding qualities of the protagonist? Margaret, she was a total misfit on planet Venus. She did not fit in there. Venus was not suiting to her likes and dislikes. She did not like Venus. She could not can't adapt herself to the situations in Venus. That is another character of hers. She found it difficult to adapt herself to the situations prevailing in Venus. She was affected by rain. Her whole being was affected. Her physical appearance, the color of her hair, the color of her eyes, the glow on her face, everything was very badly affected by the rains. She was an alien. Unlike other students who were the locals, she had come from the planet Earth. Therefore, she was an alien. Another distinguished character of hers was she had better knowledge of things. especially about sun and summer. She had better knowledge than her classmates. And what is her attitude? Her attitude is indifferent. Indifferent. What is the meaning of indifferent? She does not show any special affection, such a like or dislike towards anything. Friends were there, she did not mix with them. Did she hate them? No. Did she find fault with them? No. Did she pick up quarrel with them? No. So, very indifferent. She would not play with them, she wouldn't mix with them, she wouldn't talk to them. Except when they asked about sun and summer, she wouldn't speak. So, very indifferent. There was a kind of gloominess over her. The tone was always a bit of moody. She was not happy. Something was troubling her. That is, she had got used to life on earth and she was finding it difficult to live on planet Venus, and there was a desire in her to get back to earth. So these are the characteristics of Margot. Now we shall look at the characteristics of her friends. So the first paragraph itself explains very clearly what sort of people they were. The character of the friends of Margot. So many roses, weeds intermixed. That was their character. There was goodness, but at the same time they were filled with things which are not so desirable. Roses and weeds. Roses stand for all that is good, and weeds stand for all that is bad, all that is to be removed. So they were a mixture of roses and weeds, intermixed. They were innocent. What do you mean by innocent? There is no guile in them. They don't do things so intentionally to hurt somebody. They were very innocent children. Of course they were jealous. They were jealous of Margot because she knew things better. She was able to explain how a sun looked. Sun looked like a coin. It looked like a flower. It looked like a fire. So she could explain, and they did not have much experience of sun. So they were jealous of her. Another reason for their jealousy was her indifference towards them. Cruel and hatred. These were the qualities present in these children. They were very cruel and they were filled with hatred. So they had a hatred towards Margot and they were very cruel to her. Intolerant to different people who are different. These children were intolerant. They could not bear with people who are indifferent, who are different from them, who did not think like them, who did not join them in their games, who spoke something different from them. They could not bear them. They could not make them friends. So that's why we call it intolerant. Intolerant means inability to accept somebody as your own with all their differences. You are not able to accept somebody because they have a lot of differences. So if you are able to accept somebody with all their differences, then we can say they were tolerable people. These people were intolerable. They could not accept Margot and her habits. So these are the characteristics of Margot and her friends. I will go to next one. Themes. What are the main themes in this story? All summer in a day. I already said on the first day, the darker side of human nature, present even in children, is exposed. That's the main theme. The darker side of human nature present even in children is exposed. Last day I explained what is the meaning of darker side of human nature. So in that there are few themes picked up. Jealousy and bullying. Jealousy and bullying. Jealousy is you are not able to accept the other because they are different from you. And you want or you wish the destruction of the other. Because they have better talents, they have better abilities, therefore I feel a sort of not feeling at home with them. That is jealousy. So jealousy and bullying. Bullying is devise plans to destroy somebody. Or it could be something like a prank. So that is bullying. That is one of the themes. Mean and insensitive. Mean and insensitive. What is the meaning of mean? Means very cheap. Cheap way of behaving. Mean and insensitive to those who are different. Others who cannot think like me. Others who do things differently. My companions who will not play with me. Others who will not laugh with me. These are people who are different from me. I behave in a mean and insensitive way. Very cheap and insensitive means I am not at all bothered about their feelings. Each person has his own likes and dislikes. I must be able to respect their likes and dislikes. But here, they were mean and insensitive. Especially the character William is a perfect example of this meanness and insensitivity. He was very mean. You will find him finding fault with Margot, very rash way of speaking, and there are a few times even he pushed her, and he organizes a group of people against her. A plan out, purposely devise a plan to keep her inside. So he makes other people to believe that she is wrong. Then takes her in the closet, keeps her inside and locks her up. So character William is a very good example of jealousy, bullying, mean and insensitive behavior. Another theme treated is space travel. Space travel. So the author uses fantasy and imagination. Fantasy and imagination. Gladbury is a man who lived much before people landed on the moon. Human beings landed on the moon 1969. He wrote the story in 1959. So it was pure imagination, pure fantasy that people going to planet Venus and settling down there. So space travel, he creates interest in space travel and uses fantasy and imagination. That is another theme. Now we shall come to the next heading, that is style. Style is the different techniques used in writing the story. First one is narration. So the story is a narration. Somebody is narrating. The author is narrating the events. It's a third person narration. Third person narration. The author speaking about he, she, it, or they. Here it's they, because he's speaking about not only Margot but also about the children, her classmates. So it is a third person narration. There are dialogues, plenty of dialogues among the children talking to children. That's the starting of the story itself is with the narration. Ready? Yes, we are ready. So the first opening lines itself is a dialogue. Then there is a dialogue between students. Then there is a dialogue between students and the class teacher. Also there is dialogue in the classroom where the discussion is taking place. So you will find the technique of dialogue being used throughout the story. Then you will go to chronology. Chronology, what is chronology? Order of time, as things happen. So how things happen, and do they keep up the unity of time, place and action? Yes, because the whole thing takes place in a day's time. It has been raining for 70 years, that's the background. But the whole story takes place on a particular day. Only one event, the discussion that takes place on the previous day, is recalled. Otherwise, the entire thing takes place in a day. And the sun comes, remains only for 2 hours, and then they get back to the school. So entire thing happens in a day. And place, there are only 2 places. One is the school, another one is the place outside the school. The school was in the underground. So when the sun comes, they come out of it and go into the ground, into the forest, outside, enjoy and come back. And the action takes place within the given time. That's chronology. Images. There's a lot of imageries used. You know what is the meaning of imagery? Images, it should be imagery. You can correct it, not images, imageries. He says Venus a place of rain. It's an imagery. And he says drum and gush of water. So to say that Venus is a place of rain where there is a continuous, incessant rains, uses imagery, drum and gush of water. Drum is a sound of the rain falling or the time falling. The drum and gush of water. Gush of water like a tidal waves. All these are imageries. And when he speaks about the forest, he compares it with the nest of octopi. Nest, N-E-S-T. Nest of octopi. Then also he says the color of the forest is like that of rubber and ash. Because there is no sunlight, no photosynthesis, therefore the color is not green, it's the color of rubber and ash. And when he speaks about the changeover from the rain to the sunny day, he uses imagery of a film projector. How a film projector has a first volcanic eruptions, avalanches and all that. Then there is a picture where there is a tropical picture with a standstill atmosphere. So a projector, film projector. Like this, so many imageries are used to make the reader understand it better. Then the last item, we'll go to figures of speech. What are the figures of speech used? There are so many figures of speech used. One is irony. Situational irony he uses. What is irony? It's a contrast between what is expected and what is happening. Situational irony is a contrast between what is expected to happen and what actually happens. Who has been waiting for the sun, earnestly waiting, eagerly waiting? It was Margot. Because she had come from the earth, she lived there for 5 years, she knew the sun, and on the Venus she was fed up with the sun, and she was affected by the continuous rains, and she was waiting for the sun to see. Of all the students, she was the one very badly wanted to see the sun. That's one side. On the other side, there are students. They were not so much interested in sun because they did not know the beauty of summer. They did not know what all positive effects the sun can have. So they were not so much eager to see the sun. But at the end, what happened? One who wanted to see the sun, she could not see. She had to wait another 7 years to see the sun again. Whereas the students who did not want to see the sun, who did not have much interest, they saw it, they enjoyed it, they were overjoyed. So that is situational irony. Another figure of speech used is metaphor. Metaphor. For example, sun is a flower that blooms for just 1 hour. Sun is a flower. It does not say sun is like a flower. Sun is a flower that blooms for just 1 hour. She was an old photograph. Speaking about Margot, she was an old photograph dusted from an album. She was an old photograph dusted from an album. Another figure of speech used is simile. A number of occasions, simile is used. For example, the children were falling one upon the other like a feverish wheel. The children were falling one upon the other like a feverish wheel. So the figures of speech used are irony, metaphor and simile. So now for your homework, you shall do the remaining assignment. You already, I suppose you have written assignment numbers 1, 2, 3 and 4. So now you complete the rest of the assignment. Thank you.